So, welcome everyone. This is my first ever YouTube video. Um, I've made a lot of shorts throughout my time on YouTube, but this is actually my first real YouTube video with me talking. And as you can hear, I'm not talking through a highly advanced microphone. I'm actually using the mic through my phone. It sounds therefore a bit weird, but yeah, I hope that is manageable. So, as the title says, I am a biotechnological engineer graduate with a master's degree in biotechnology, a complete straight A student. I actually finished my college education 2 years ago and have been applying for a job ever since. And as you know, we always have that dilemma with, do you need experience to get a job, or do you need a job to get the experience? And most of the times where I've been to these job interviews, it's been the exact same thing. Exactly that the reason why we didn't proceed with you is because we chose other candidates with more experience. So 1 year after graduating and applying, I got an opportunity in one company where the manager just simply said, well, you're gonna need to have a job to get the experience. And the man offered me the job right on the spot. So what happened at that company was that I worked for 4 months in total. I had this manager, great manager and great team for 2 months' time. And already 2 months in, I got told that the team would be dissolved and that we would each get new teams assigned to us and a new manager. So I went from having a manager who had a lot of trust in me, a manager who had a lot of faith in me, a manager who wanted me, who understood that I needed practice, that I needed to be trained, that I needed patience and time to develop. And I ended up getting a manager that basically didn't look at it like that. So yeah, I got this new manager, and already after 2 months' time, she said that she doesn't want to have me here anymore. And for the real reason, simply because she couldn't feel me in a way. And now I just want you to try to imagine for one situation. You've come directly from the university system. You have zero clue of how things in the industry work, and you just want to take as much knowledge into you and get as much work to you as possible. The problem here is that I joined at a time where the team was about to be dissolved. A big reorganization were happening in the area, meaning that people had themselves and their task as their primary objective rather than my training and development, which is understandable. That was something that my first manager understood as well, meaning that this is something that's going to take time because the others also need to have their papers, their documents in order when this reorganization happens. So your training and your development is something that's going to need to be put on a hold. Now, when I got this new manager, all of this just went out of the window. Simply because she thought that I had to do stuff. And now I want you to imagine yourself in a situation. You're commuting around 2 to 3 hours to your job. You don't have any deadlines on your computer. You reached all of them. You read all the documents. You made sure that you don't exceed any deadlines. You can't be trained because training takes time. Training needs to be formed in groups, and that needs to be scheduled. And you can't help anyone, you can't perform any task because you're not trained in the tasks, and you're just sitting there on your job having nothing else to do. The company wants you to have a go, look and see mindset, to go and ask the other colleagues how this and that machinery works, which in theory is really good, but in real life doesn't always end well, simply because people, like during this reorganization, have their own tasks and therefore don't have time to show you how their equipment work. And that was the case for me. Like, I went probably 3 to 4 times up and down the stairs to ask different people to show me how the different machineries were working, but every time I asked, they barely had time to show me. Now, what happens here, imagine that you go to your manager with that and you are getting criticized for not doing more. And that was me most days when I was there under my new management. Well, what else do you expect of me? Like, what else do you want me to do? Like, commuting all this way, I'm making sure that I don't exceed any deadlines, and I'm just here wanting to work. I'm not commuting 3 hours to not do any work. So what happened here was that I got the kick simply because she thought that I didn't do enough. And first of all, like, I was in shock, mostly because that was my first job after graduating from college in a company I really loved, and a company that I saw myself contribute a lot to in the future. And I do really remember the day I lost the job. Like, from now on, like, that happened like a bit over a year ago. And I remember her alongside a couple of HR people sitting there and simply forcing me to sign a document for my resignation. Now, anyone looking back at it in hindsight would have told me, do not sign anything before you have someone that got your back, that can actually help you to show that you actually are doing a lot of work when you're around here. But yeah, as the person that I was just nervous, and I was in complete shock that someone wanted me gone after just this short amount of time, because I got brought into the company thinking that people need time to develop, they need time to train, they need time to be indoctrinated into the way that things are working here, to now that I just had to say goodbye to everyone right on the spot. So I, of course, signed the document, and while I signed it, and I still kept on trying to talk with them, and I still told them that I think they're wrong about it, simply because I have studied a lot throughout my year. I have done whatever I could to get the best grades that I could. I have sacrificed so much of my freedoms, sacrificed so much of my spare time, sacrificed so much of my sleep to get better grades and reach good projects. And as soon as I said that, what they told me was, you're too proud of what you have accomplished, but you have nothing to be proud of. And that sentence is something that's stuck with me ever since. Because when you look at what they have accomplished, and I did look at it, I look at all 3 people, what they had accomplished in their lives, and what I found out is that none of them had taken an academic degree, none of them had taken a master's degree, and none of them have taken a bachelor's degree, meaning that not a single one of them had taken the academic route. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this. You can either look at it in a way that maybe I'm the wrong one, maybe I'm the arrogant one, because I'm coming directly from the university where I've gotten all these grades, and now I should be humble enough not to think that I am something when I come into a workplace where you have people like these. Or you could look at it in a different way, that of course this is a biotech industry, and in the biotech industry at least should be treated with a lot more respect and be acknowledged that the work they have put in actually took time. Even to this day, I will still say that they did the wrong thing. And as soon as I lost the job, I contacted my first manager and I told him about it. And he had the exact same opinion as me. Exactly, that I didn't do anything wrong, and that she, my second manager, was the one who took the bad decision. And whenever I contacted my loved ones and also my friends about it, they all said the same thing, that you shouldn't have signed any documents, you should have waited, and second of all, you were bullied out. Yes. But then again, I lost the job, I lost a potential relationship with a person to move in with me, and yeah, I had to start all over from scratch again. And ever since that, I have been looking for a job in the industry, not being able to find one. It's not to say that I haven't been sending any job applications and that I haven't been to interviews. I've been to a lot, but it's always been the exact same answer that I don't have the experience, or at least that they decided to proceed with someone who actually had more experience than me. And sitting right here now, 2 years later, after graduating, I'm sitting here with a kind of mixed kind of feelings. Currently right now, it's not that I'm not working. I mean, I have a part-time job that I started, but it's a part-time job as a substitute teacher, which I used to be before I even started on college. So you can actually say I'm doing what I did 5 years ago, but earning less money and also having a lot more mental issues than I had before I started studying. So my point is not making this video because I want you guys to feel sorry for me or feel bad for me. I just made this video because I wanted to see if there was people who actually had kind of similar stories to me, or if people who actually have experienced something similar, well, in what kind of way did they manage to move on from it? And one of the things that came up while I've been applying for job is that I've decided to make this YouTube channel where it's primarily going to be about video games, playing them, a few movie edits as well. But mostly this channel is going to be about video games, about making some fun clips, also having some time to enjoy with your friends, some fun clips, some fun montages with the friends, some commentaries about life, we'll see, but mostly just about life the way it was before everything turned to shit, so to speak. I made this video in hopes that future college enthusiasts or students can take notes from me that your grades don't mean jack shit. If you ask me, I think they should care. I think grades should be important. I think grades should be the deal breaker to who is going to get a job or not. Because at the end of the day, the grades show how good you are at dealing under pressure, how much you want to get an objective done, how much knowledge can you get in a certain amount of time, and how fast you can deliver the results, and also how much information you can take in and how much information you can take advantage of to complete a task. But as you know, the management in majority of these companies is just run by stupid people. Majority of them, and I'm not saying that this is the case for the company I was at, but I've just noticed a pattern that majority of these companies are hiring managers that don't have anything to do with the company they're working for. Like you're seeing people from the military get a manager position in the pharmacy simply because they're good at leading. And to me, it's ridiculous. Like I've led countless of project groups in my time in academia that doesn't require me to be any sort of military type of guy. That doesn't require me to have any military skills. It's just plain simple. I mean, I consider knowledge as power. The more knowledge you have on a topic and the more determined you are to reaching your goal, for example, to get a good result on your project, well, of course, you're going to be more determined to take a leader role to get the project done. Now, again, to go back to it, my problem with it is that you have a lot of managers in these companies that aren't really suited for the topics that are there. And I could feel the same thing with the manager that gave me the kick. She was clueless to whatever kind of topics we were talking about. And it just further raises the question, well, why do we have these people in charge when they have zero clues about any of the processes and the topics that are going on in the pharmacy? So again, my message to college enthusiasts, academia enthusiasts and students is that, especially to the ones who actually want to get good grades, don't take your grades that serious. In fact, don't even take college that serious. I don't care if it's a college for you to become a doctor or it's a college for you to become an engineer. Just don't take college serious anymore. You see, when you look at the economy outside, you see people can barely get jobs. You see that, the job market is just fucked. So what I would say is, yes, I think you should go to college. I think you should take a relevant college education, but I don't think you should take college that serious. Aim at just passing, right? Just pass the courses and use the knowledge that you gain there to develop something on your own, like to maybe start a company in the future, or to use any kind of social media to put knowledge into work. That's what I would say. Anyway, guys, as I said, this is my first YouTube video that I ever made. And this is my first time speaking about something as personal as that. But it's something that I really wanted to get off my chest because it's something that I struggle with currently. It's something that I don't know how to deal with at certain time points in my life, simply because I feel like my 5 years have been wasted. But yeah, I'm still pushing on. I'm still trying to tell myself that that's not the case, that I can still make it through, that I can still make something out of it. But I'm leaning more and more towards just also making YouTube at a side and kind of try to see if I can make something out of it. Because I have a lot of wisdom to give, but I also have a lot of fun sides to show. Well, that's me for now. Merry Christmas to you all, and take care of your loved ones.